Hello, hello. My name is Doomba, and welcome to my channel. Recently I felt like game developers haven't been fully transparent with their game development cycle and with the general gaming community. Time and time again, I see games coming out that, they have reviews like this game wasn't worth my time, my money, my attention to the community. Like it wasn't worth it. It needed to be worked on for another month or two or even a year. Like it just needs more time in the oven to make sure that it was fully complete. So recently I felt, what can we do to sort of remedy this situation? Because we're leaving it to game developers to be more transparent to us. What is more that we can do? What more can we possibly get to? And I think that answer lies in, helping games be more transparent by going through games and relaying information properly. This game is worth your time, money, and attention. And this transitions into why I'm making this video and hope to make more. Uh, I hope to go through games that I recommend or even don't recommend and give you my first takes, my general experience playing the game. Hopefully, it is able to help anyone in a purchasing decision in the future. So let's get started on that. This is Siege Survival Gloria Victis. Relatively new game, came out this year, about a month ago actually, from making this video. May 18th is when it was released. So yeah, about a month ago. Developed by Black Eye Games and Fish Tank Studios. Both studios worked on one other title, that being Siege Survival, the MMORPG, released back in 2016. Bit of a jump, but I do see some parallels between the MMORPG genre and the genre of Siege Survival Gloria Victis. This one is more of a survival stealth management sort of game. Put it all together. There are a few parallels between the two general genres, so let's see how well they put this one together. Right off the bat, I'll say this game does look really nice. I love the aesthetic of the title screen. Very painted look. It's very pretty alongside the computer generated smoke. Very nice. Nice to look at, as well as the in-game drawings, the profile pictures of each of the workers involved, and each of the events that happen within the game have a drawing that they pencil drawing. They look like pencil drawings. They all look very nice for the aesthetic. That, alongside the music, very harrowing, is very nice. Now, usually I like going through the options menu. I like to, skip it if there doesn't seem to be anything important in there, but I do think there is a bit that I need to talk about here. Everything is pretty much here, except for what I think is the biggest culprit right here: quality, high, medium, or low. What does this mean? I couldn't tell you. Usually there would be sliders, there would be more options to perhaps pull down the tree qualities or the shadow qualities. There's nothing here. It's just high, medium, or low. It doesn't have any tooltips about what this does. It doesn't have any tooltips to describe, what's being turned on and off within these three options. So this is frustrating. So that is something to think about. VSync on or off, easy. Audio, this is all you really need because there's no dialogue within the game. Everything is in text, so you don't really need to worry about more than just these options. One nitpicky thing I will mention is a lot of times the effects, I think, should be separated because a lot of the effects may be a little bit loud, while other ones may be pleasant to hear. For example, I like the sound of the bubbling of the cooking, but other sounds like the arrows flying overhead or swords clanging against one another. That can get a bit loud. Now, something to applaud the game on that I do think more game developers should do, and luckily more and more of them are doing it, but it is worthy of pointing out: language. Many language options. This is fantastic. This tells me that they wanted their game to be played no matter where in the world you are. This is incredibly nice to see. If you want to play in Japanese, you can. If you want to play in Korean, you can. French, Italian, German, anything that you wish. It doesn't go into super specifics, of course, but this is a good set of language options to have. Very nice. And keybinds. I didn't think keybinds would be something that you would want to have in this game, but a lot of times you find when you're in the day-night cycle, specifically the day cycle, keybinds are very important because you only have a limited time to do things during the day. So keybinds allow you to keep the momentum going within the daytime, because a lot of times you'll just see your workers standing there after they finish a task until you get to them and tell them to do the next thing. So keybinds do allow you to do that at least slightly faster. So there we go. Like I said, everything else is pretty much okay. Resolution options are, of course, here. Make sure that it has your resolution options before getting the game. Display mode, full screen or windowed. Easy. Something else that I did want to point out with this game that I think was done correctly: scenario editor. This is fantastic. This tells me that game developers wanted their game to be played in any way that the gamer wishes to play it. You can critique your own experience. You can put together your own story, your own set of rules for the game. This is nice. I like this. A lot of games are so hell-bent to have their game played in a specific way, so it's nice to see that they're giving the gamers the options to play however they wish. Now, to get into the game. Another thing that I wanted to point out: a lot of options for how you want to play the game on the surface. As of right now, this is the only scenario that is out. But you can choose basic, challenge scenarios, or custom. If you can go to your custom scenarios right there, New Game Plus. If you wish to play without the story involved, you can do Quick Start, easy enough. If you want to just focus on the story, this is a fantastic option. Having the Explorer option, easier economic and scavenging aspects of the game for better focus on the story progress. This is nice, especially in a survival game. It allows the player the chance to experience the story without getting walled by the difficulty. So this is always a nice option to have in a survival game. And of course the challenge modes if you want to give yourself a bit of a challenge. So I'm going to select the quick start option just to avoid as much of the story spoilers as I possibly can. So let's start that right now. Nice change of the starting screen. Again, setting the mood. Now then. Super sorry for the jump cuts. The gameplay of my... the gameplay I have recorded has already been corrupted. So this is me redoing the gameplay bit. So this is the game, Siege Survival. This is the bastion that you start off in. To explain the story quickly, a group of invading Vikings have destroyed the medieval city that you live in, the castle city that you live in, and you as a worker have escaped into the central bastion for protection, the last outpost where you must care for yourselves and care for the soldiers living within the bastion to defend you and live until the next day. How you go about doing that: gather food, water, medicine, take care of the animals, build more buildings until you are, well, until you live to the next day. You're given one worker to start off with in the main storyline. The only reason you have two here is because of the quick play. To go over the interface quickly, it shows the time of day on the top right here. You can speed up or slow down time right there. Handy feature. Down here is just menu options and the supplies menu, what you have in your supplies. Something else that I wanted to talk about right away is the economics summary. These are all the things that you can make and or get. The very first thing that I'll say about this is that this is incredibly underwhelming. I thought there would be more that you can develop within the game. I thought there would be a larger tree system, perhaps one that's not revealed to you off the bat, but it doesn't seem like that is the case. This is all that you can really create. So initially this does seem a bit underwhelming, but useful nonetheless that it gives you the schematics to go by. Useful to see what goes into building each of the things so you don't have to guess, which a lot of survival games, a lot of games in general do. They make you guess how crafting goes about. This just kind of tells you. So I suppose that's an upside to a general downside, that being it is not too impressive in my opinion. Bottom right shows your workers, both workers. You can click on the worker themselves to see a tab that is their profile. This is where the profile pictures come up. They also look painted. They look very nice. This is Flint. He's a worker. He has increased character backpack. He has increased carrying capacity. So this is why he's very good at nighttime when there's the scavenging bit, which we will go over. But for now, it's just the daytime, and it gives it a little blurb about who he is and how he got here. So yeah, both Hugon and Flint are at your disposal to use however you wish. Right next to them are their status markers. So there's the fact that they're rested, fed, slightly thirsty. It shows their thirsts, and if they're healthy, if they're fit, and if they're sad or depressed or worse. If anything is lacking in this area, then it will result in bad working efficiency, decreased working efficiency. So you do want to keep track of these. A lot of them you can't really do anything about. Depressed, you can't really do anything about other than wait. But the others, if they need food, of course, feed them food. If they need some rest, you can just send them straight to bed, and they will rest. So do keep track of these. And lastly, the bastion itself. This is the bastion that's meant to protect you. It's just an overview. Shows your strength at the top left here. Shows the enemy's strength at the top right here. And shows when the next battle should be. You do have to scout out at night. Send a person or two to scout at night in order to open up this information in the main storyline to show when the next battle is and how powerful they will be. Now, how is this number put together? This is the garrison that's within the bastion. Shows how many of the soldiers are here. Has a nice tooltip to show how many are ready to fight and wounded, sick, or dead, and also tells the morale. Right next to it is the bastion issues. It tells you what's lacking. You can go ahead and give them a bundle of arrows in order to fix that specific problem. And it also increases the armament status, increasing the armament status by giving them swords and axes and armors and arrows and bows. Of course, makes them stronger for the fight to come. You can also give them some fortifications, mainly materials like stone and brick. Also give them ballistas. And lastly, the main thing that I think is quite annoying to deal with is the food and water. The fact that they need a lot of food in the beginning makes it very difficult because food is not particularly easy to find within the game. So you do have to make them food. You make them food, and that increases their ability to fight. But here I can just send them some arrows, and one of my workers will go over and send those materials over. Now, what can you interact with in the main game? Anything that's blue. Blue and flashing just means it's recommended you go there in order to take a look. But everything you can interact with is blue. These are all the buildings that you can go through initially. You can upgrade the building in order to get these options here. I believe that's a garden and a mousetrap. You know, nice additions to your outpost. Another thing that's interesting is the fact that you can place your buildings however you see fit. So you can. This is the management bit of the game. If you want to place a bunch of these right next to each other, you can do that as long as you have the space. You can go ahead and build any object that you need. You can also rotate as well. I did not demonstrate that, but you can rotate it. So he's creating the building. I can go ahead and speed up the time here. Once you get past the initial daybreak, I think this might be noontime, could be wrong. But once you get past this initial daybreak, then you can skip the rest of the day. But this is where the hotkeys come in. Your workers are just sitting there kind of doing nothing until you give them direction. You can't really StarCraft this where you can set up a queue of items and things to attend to. You just kind of have to set them to do their own thing over time. Go ahead and feed the chickens quickly. Go feed the pigs. There are upgrades to each of the buildings. Go ahead and feed them some fodder. You can go ahead and upgrade buildings as well once you get the right materials. It just increases the efficiency. In this case, in the case of the storehouse, it will, make those new buildings. You can make those buildings. Gives you that option. In the case of the stump and sawhorse, it's mainly making it more efficient to do wood processing, and with food it's just more efficient to make specific types of food where it takes less resources, which I highly recommend that you upgrade nice and early. So just got to get that pot, and the rest is easy to get. Now, I mentioned sleeping in a bed before. That's within the keep. That's really the only reason that the keep is here. So far that I can see, it's there for beds, making beds. So once you have a little bit of wood, you can make beds. You can make up to 4 beds. The way that I've seen it is the number of beds you have should be the number of workers you have minus 1. So the fact that there are 2 workers here, you should make 1 bed for them to sleep in at night. The other one, of course, goes out and scavenges. Or scouts. But in quick play mode, I don't believe you need to scout. You don't need to scout. So let's go ahead and talk about the next half of the game, which is the nighttime scavenging. Skip until dusk? Sure. So this is the planning screen. Well, one of the planning screens. You can see the Bastion issues on the left here, as well as the information that you have for scouting. Shows the number of days left that you have. Your workers in the center here, you can judge what exactly they need to do for the night. You can tell them to usually sleep in a bed, but in this case, we didn't have enough wood, so no bed available. Sleep on the ground. Tells you their debuffs here. They don't really matter. You can have someone go out that's very hungry or very thirsty. And it shows the carrying capacity right underneath because that's useful information. In this case, Flint is going to be the one going out to scavenge in the city. All right, here are the 3 points that you have to work with. This is the entire city. And luckily, when you mouse over any of the areas, it shows you if there's plenty or few of whatever resource it is you're looking for. It also tells you the eye status is just the patrols. If there's a lot of patrols, then the eye will be fully open. If there aren't, then the eyes will be closed. Initially, you start in the marketplace spawn. You have access to the marketplace, and that's about it. It's just a square area. You need a shovel in order to move to the different areas. Something that I find quite annoying with the game so far is that they don't give you enough indicators to say you should be getting to each of these spawn points. Just find a way to these spawn points, because if something goes wrong within Marketplace, if you get caught in, say, Cheapside, like I have been in the past, Cheapside was the first one that I tried to access, and there were guards patrolling here, around here, and I got caught. I had to run all the way back to Marketplace. Immediately, Marketplace became overrun with soldiers, and so was Cheapside. So the two places that I had access to were overrun with soldiers. I needed more materials in order to make a shovel, in order to get to more places, but I couldn't get to those materials because I was too busy trying to avoid guards. Definitely an annoying bit of the game. That kind of gives the game its learning curve, so to speak. You need to know where to open up the different sections of the map, or at least have a general understanding of you should be trying to open up as much of the map as possible. But yes, on the right here, there are all the materials here that you have to work with. If your person is thirsty, this is what I talked about before. If your person is thirsty, you can give them some water, and then they can drink it the second they get up to scavenging, the second they get on the map, and that'll decrease their thirst amount. So it's not a huge problem if you send someone out that's hungry or thirsty. Alternatively, you can send them out with some medicine and some makeshift bandages. A lot of people find that useful, people that you can trade with. So you can potentially use this for trading, which is also helpful. Otherwise, you can use a torch. Torches work the same way that shovels do. They open up pathways. Specifically by burning bodies. By burning the bodies, you can access new sections of the map. So I will be bringing a torch with me. It's a shame that they don't give you a shovel initially, but we'll have to find the materials for a shovel. So this is it. This is the scavenging section of the game. You click on this to go back to the castle. You click on this for hiding. This is the symbol for hiding. And any of these you can search through. You can click this button right here to increase the speed in which you search for things. Everything is sound based, so you can see the little footsteps create a little sound wave, and this increases the sound that it gives off. You of course want to limit the sound when there are guards nearby. But right now there aren't really any guards around, so you can kind of do whatever you wish. You can double click to run. Helpful to know. Go ahead and gather some more materials here. There we go. I don't believe there are any shovels in this area. There could be someone somewhere hidden that I don't know about. But we definitely want to find one if we can. Tells me at the bottom that I have a full inventory. That's fine. I can go ahead and get rid of the dirty water, because that's kind of useless to have on me. There we go. You can, of course, purify the water later on, the dirty water, to make it into clean water, but right now I don't have that capability, so not much use to doing that. And there we go. This is the nighttime gameplay. Go out and search for more things. More things that can help you survive until the next day. And this is what I mean with you being able to burn a body in order to get into the next area. You would need a shovel to get around areas like this, but this is just burning a body. There we go. Something else that I will point out Uh, I wish the game had a system of being able to kill a guard without repercussions. However, that's not really the case. If you kill a guard, you can't hide it. I tried it the first time that I played through this. I thought maybe if I killed a guard, I could, reduce the amount of patrols here. It would make it easier to do things. Instead, the game punished me and said that there are increased patrols in this area because they found him dead. And he's just dead on the ground, so you can't hide them, perhaps? No, you cannot. For whatever reason, you cannot hide the bodies. So it is frustrating that they punish you so hard for just trying to reduce the number of guards around. You take a risk like trying to kill a guard and they punish you for that. That's quite frustrating. There you go. Now it tells you that we need to go back to the castle. It's very useful to have the medicine. I might just get rid of the wood here for now. You can always come back the next day in order to get more stuff. You can go ahead and click this up here to go back to the castle. You very much do not want to be caught out in daylight because the guards can see you from very, very far away. And they will chase after you. It's very easy for them to see you. And if they do see you, they will increase the patrols around the area that they see you and around where they see you running. Over here, nice drawing. Tells you the night was calm. This night was calm, but the enemy's assaults can come any day. We must prepare for it. We should use the chance to help soldiers at the bastion. Yes. So here we go. Here's the next day. We can go look at the bottom here to see that, he's very thirsty, so his working efficiency has been decreased. We can go ahead and tell him to drink some water right there. No buttons are yellow yet or red, so Flint does not need any rest or water just yet. So he can go ahead and get to work on stuff, make some food, see what we can create in the storehouse. We can create a composter. And that's about it. What do I need for these? I need way more wood in order to get a workbench. I should have kept that wood with me, but medicine is also incredibly useful. Let's see what the soldiers need. They're going to need more food soon. I don't have any other resources to give them as of right now. Let's go see if we can make a bed quickly, because that will help us. There we go. We can make one bed. Let's go ahead and make the one bed. Let's see if we can make any more food. We cannot, because we need more firewood. Unfortunate, we need a lot of firewood. So let's go ahead and make some. And this is the main gameplay loop. You go ahead and create more things that help you survive until the next day, and you keep going, and things happen within each and every day. Little in-game events happen. Let's go ahead and give some of the soldiers some food. We'll keep one for ourselves. The bed is complete, all set. And there's nothing else I can really do for the day as I don't have enough resources. You can, of course, send your workers over here at the rummage location. They will just search through this and find materials after they go ahead and get through the search bar. It's kind of just something that the workers can do if you don't need someone doing something immediately. You can go ahead and gather from the pigs. He is starting to get tired, Flint, so let's send him to bed, and we can go ahead and skip time, because I just want you to see the fights. So let's go ahead and try to speed up time. All right. So Flint does not want to be scavenging. You would want Hugon to be scavenging. Flint is already he was already a bit tired before he got to bed. So let's give him some time. Unfortunately, Hugon is sad and has 2 less space, but at least we know where we're going in this area. We don't have a torch to work with, and we don't have a shovel, unfortunately, so we're just going to get him out as he is. Try to gather all the materials that he can. I will try to speed this up to make sure that... Ooh, shovel. I will try to speed this up so as to show you the fight scenes, how the fighting works within the game. So let's go ahead and see if we can open up a new area of the map. So I'd like to show you the guards if I can. There we go. And you break the shovel. Of course you do, clumsy guy. Alright. Let's go to the filthies. Let's see if there are any patrols down here. There should be. There they are. You can see the little green as they work their way around. Them in red. This is very helpful, the fact that you can see them in the red. So you can see their general view. This is where the hiding spots come in. You're supposed to be able to hide in here to avoid their gaze. So there we go. He doesn't see me. Do keep in mind that these bars right here do mean that if you start moving, he can hear you. So you should wait until that goes away, and then you can then move around as you wish. You can still go ahead and search quickly through things. It won't be too big a deal unless he's quite close. So I'm gonna try to do this quickly. Alright, I'm only finding materials here. I want to get that wood that's upstairs. Let's go ahead and get out of here for now. There's too much to gather, too much stuff. Let's go ahead and gather this stuff. So if the guards do catch you, like I said, they will chase after you to your spawn. They are just as fast as you. Perhaps maybe like a smidge slower, but not by much. And they will increase the patrols around the area that you reside. So you can very well just get screwed if you don't really know what you're doing. That's why I said this game has a bit of a learning curve, not too high, but it's there. Just understanding that how the guards work and how the patrols work. More areas to explore. I believe I can't go into Hightown yet. It's the same case in the marketplace. We can go ahead and get right back to the castle right now. Let's do that. It's the end of the night anyway. And there we go. The enemy assault approaches. We must get ready for the worst. The enemies are preparing an attack. We need to support our soldiers to help them stop the assaults. Another nice part about this, you can support the soldiers on the go. So you can send them resources as the attack is going on to help them survive. It's quite a nice bit. Let's go ahead and see what else we can develop. Here's Flint. Here's my boy Flint. He's very thirsty. Dying of thirst even. So let's go ahead and get him some water. We can get this guy some water as well. And he is a lot slower when he's thirsty. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. We're trying to get you water, but you just need to move over there faster. Get some eggs from the chickens. Oops. There we go. So the attack, I believe, will be coming at daybreak here. So we're going to need to be prepared. I don't know if the attack will be... All right, firing projectiles. So it's going to be stone projectiles being fired at us instead of arrows. Sometimes it's flaming arrows. Sometimes it's projectiles like this. And luckily, you can salvage these. You can go ahead and gather the stone that help in the fortifications. If there are flaming arrows falling from the sky, then you can tell your workers to take cover under areas like this, or in the keep. But luckily, no flaming arrows. Your buildings do become damaged if they are targeted. Oh boy. That's not going to hit him, right? Okay, we're good. We're good. Your buildings can become damaged, which you will need to repair depending on the placement within this. It's a little bit random how they land down, but there you go. My soldiers seem well capable to defend this place. 32 to 30. Uh-oh, this guy needs to get out now. Go, 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 go. Ooh. No salvage there, unfortunate. It was a tough battle. They stopped the Eastmere assault with minimal losses. Let's keep it this way. All right, so they lost their arrows, of course, and gives you a general overview of what happened during that fight. Let's see what they need. Let's try to send them some stone to help in fortifications. Let's give them a bundle of arrows, and let's go ahead and send them some food. Even though my workers are going to need food soon, we should be okay for a bit longer. Actually, let's go ahead and see if we can gather, or let's see if we can make a workbench, because we kind of need one. There it is. We can make a workbench. Go ahead and use the mouse wheel to rotate it however you see fit. And let's send the other worker to make some more firewood for food. He is starting to get tired, so I'm going to need to send him to bed soon. Flint is doing okay. I'm gonna send him off the bed. Alright. And that's it with the game, really. There's not much else in terms of content. You can create more stuff. Gives you a lot of options to create more stuff and upgrade your buildings, but once you kind of get to that point, you can eventually just get an economy going and you're living pretty easily with a lot of food and live day to day. Of course, the amount of materials you have available to you outside of the central outpost diminishes over time as you get less and less areas that you can explore. So there we go. That is the full scope of Siege Survival Gloria Victis. I'll go ahead and go back to the menu. Yeah, it's fine. Pretty sure it's fine. Okay. Now, do I think this game is worth your time and money? In its current state at $25 US, no, I don't think there is enough content in the game to warrant that price. I definitely think that you should wait until the game is on sale. $15, $20 would be my range for what the game is worth at its current moment. That said, the community posts for this game tell of a roadmap with additions such as in-game dynamic events, as well as a new desert scenario. If these will be free additions to the game, I will say yes to the $25 being worth it. The brand new scenario, they boast that it's completely new gameplay. So again, if the players are not forced to pay for this new scenario, by all means, I say that the $25 will then be worth it. But right now, in its current state, I do not believe that there is enough content in the game to warrant $25. That said, you can still purchase it on Steam if you wish. Um, I hope this helped in any way, shape, or form. Please let me know if there are any other games that you would like me to look at and critique. Give my first impressions of, tell you if it's worth it. If there's any game that you're thinking about, by all means. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. That's it for me. My name is Doomba, and goodbye.